Eliza Fletcher was born on November 9, 1987 in the city of Memphis, a city with just over 620,000 inhabitants, located in the state of Tennessee. She was the daughter of Adele Orgue Welford and James Beasley Welford. After graduating from the Hutchinson School in 2006, Eliza played soccer for the University of Memphis and later completed her education by graduating from Baylor University. She received her master's in education from Belmont University and thereafter devoted herself full-time to children, teaching at Promise Academy and later teaching kindergarten at St. Mary's Episcopal School. A born athlete, Eliza's passion for sports extended from childhood to adulthood. It is said that she loved to run in the morning along with some friends. Eliza was described as a woman of great empathy who always tried to help others, whether known or not. She was a member of the Second Presbyterian Church, and it was there that she met Richard James Fletcher III, the man who would later become her husband. After some time dating, the two got married on March 8, 2014. Together they had two sons, Richard James Fletcher IV and Harry Welford Fletcher. According to friends and family, at that time, Eliza said she was very grateful for everything she had and felt complete. She did her best to be a good wife and the best mother she could be. She also always enjoyed the outdoors activities, like boating, hiking, and her favorite, running. In addition to all this, Eliza came from a very wealthy family. She was the granddaughter of Joseph Orgue III, a billionaire who ran the Memphis-based hardware distributor Orgue Inc. In 2021, Forbes magazine listed Orgue as the 143rd among the largest private companies in the United States, with an estimated value of $3 billion. Despite being an heiress and coming from a very wealthy family, Eliza decided that she wanted to pursue a career in early childhood education, rather than in the family business. On the morning of September 2, 2022, Eliza woke up early as she always used to, and before starting the day, even before her children woke up, she left their house for a run around 4:20 in the morning. According to sources, Eliza was wearing a lilac top and blue shorts and was going for a run near the campus of the University of Memphis. At 7:45 a.m., Eliza still hadn't returned home. So very worried, Richard, her husband, called the police department and reported his wife missing. The police responded to the call and arrived shortly afterwards at the family home. They conducted a search of the area where Eliza went jogging and found her bottle of water and her broken cell phone in the vicinity of the campus. Upon requesting security camera footage from nearby homes, police saw that Eliza was doing her morning run normally, until at a certain point, she was approached and forced to enter a dark-colored SUV. Because Eliza comes from a very wealthy family, the police initially thought it was a kidnapping and that the kidnappers would call at any time to ask for a ransom. Her disappearance quickly reverberated across Tennessee and neighboring states. Several media publicized the case and asked for any information leading to her whereabouts. The woman's family even offered a $50,000 reward to anyone who could inform them of her whereabouts. Subsequently, an expertise was carried out at the place where Eliza was approached. There, authorities found a slipper that, from the security camera footage, it was clear belonged to the man who took Eliza, and that he would have dropped it while pushing her into the vehicle. The officer sent the slipper off for a DNA analysis, and amazingly, a match was found in the police database. The DNA belonged to a 38-year-old male named Cleotha Abson Henderson. Less than a day after Eliza disappeared, the police were able to locate the man, as he had been involved in a car accident and had an illegal firearm. Because his DNA was found on the slipper that had been left at the crime scene, he was charged with the abduction of Eliza Fletcher. Shortly after his arrest, police discovered that he was the owner of the dark SUV that appears in the recordings, the same vehicle that Eliza was pushed into. Later the same day, the police revealed why Cleotha had his DNA registered in the police database. The man had already been through the prison system for a crime he committed at age 16 in the year 2000. On that occasion, he kidnapped and forced intimate relations with a woman, being arrested shortly afterwards and sentenced to 30 years in prison. However, he didn't serve his entire sentence and was released in early 2021. All of the evidence, along with Cleotha's criminal history, made him the prime suspect in Eliza Fletcher's disappearance. In this way, the police were sure that he was responsible for the crime and began to pressure him to say where Eliza was. However, Cleotha said he was innocent, and even with all the evidence pointing to him as guilty, he said he had no idea where the woman was. Despite this refusal by the accused, the police didn't sit idly by, and with the help of thousands of volunteers among family members, friends, and even people sensitive to Eliza's disappearance, they carried out a great search for the woman. These searches were carried out across a large area of the city of Memphis, where they scoured both urban and rural areas. On September 5th, 4 days after the disappearance, residents close to an abandoned house called the police informing them that there was what appeared to be dried blood on the house's grounds and that the place exhaled a very strong and bad smell. With the address of this abandoned house in hand, the police quickly drove to the location. At the back of the house, they found a female body, half naked, already in an advanced state of decomposition. Due to the condition of the body, the officers were not able to determine whether it belonged to Eliza Fletcher or not. The body was sent for an autopsy, and later the medical examiners confirmed that, in fact, the body belonged to Eliza Fletcher, missing for 4 days. On the same day, a garbage bag 0.3 miles from the scene was found containing the shorts that Eliza was wearing when she left the house for a run. Later, an autopsy performed on the body found that Eliza had a gunshot wound and a blunt injury to the back of the head, indicating that she had received a very severe blow. The autopsy further revealed that she had fractured legs and jaw, and a tox screen showed that she had a certain amount of fentanyl in her system. For those who don't know, fentanyl is an extremely strong painkiller, about 100 times the potency of morphine, and is commonly used for pain management as well as severe anesthesia. In Eliza's case, everything indicates that the drug was used by the criminal to make her doped, and consequently more vulnerable so that he could commit the crime without resistance. Cleotha Epstein Henderson was formally charged and arrested for the crime against Eliza Fletcher. It was later discovered that the accused had already committed another crime in September 2021, shortly after he was released from prison. On that occasion, as with his first crime, Cleotha kidnapped and forced relations with a woman, leaving his DNA at the crime scene. That DNA was even collected by the police, and they found a match for it in the police database. However, due to some error in the system, the man was only indicted for the crime after he had already been arrested for taking Eliza's life. If he had been arrested earlier, surely Eliza Fletcher would still be alive. Even with all the evidence the authorities were able to gather, Cleotha pleaded not guilty. During their preliminary hearing held at the end of September, the police produced some witnesses who claimed to have seen the accused at his brother's house, which was very close to the house where Eliza's body was found. Still, during the hearing, people close to the accused reported that he had been behaving strangely and even went as far as cleaning his car, something he was not used to doing. Cleotha's own brother reported that he found him washing his clothes in the kitchen sink and was very paranoid. In addition, data obtained from the accused's cell phone showed that he was at the same place and time that Eliza had disappeared. Later, the forensics revealed that they had found traces of Eliza's in Cleotha's vehicle that had been seized by the police at the beginning of the investigations. For the authorities, there is no doubt that Cleotha Epstein Henderson is responsible for the crime against Eliza Fletcher. He is currently incarcerated in Shelby Prison, where he awaits his trial, and in addition to the crime against Eliza, He is also responsible for the crime he committed in 2021, in which he kidnapped and forced relations with a woman. Eliza Fletcher's funeral and burial took place on September 10, 2022, and was attended by hundreds of people, including family and friends. The farewell ceremony was marked by great revolt and sadness. Also in September, thousands of runners, especially women, gathered during the same hour that Eliza left for her run at 4:20 a.m., intent on finishing the race the woman never could. Well, folks, that's it for today. Thanks for watching until the end. Best wishes, and I see you next time.